Hey everyone, I'm going to come in here. If you missed last week, our last episode we did, I'm going to try splitting these episodes into two parts because, as anyone who's listened to this podcast has learned over all this time, we enjoy talking about things that have nothing to do with the podcast or just waxing nostalgic about something that happened in the past. So this is going to be part two, and if you want to get what happened in part one, that'd be the last episode. And if you were clamoring what's happening with Bomber Bill and crew, here we are. We're going to continue on. And thank you so much for being here, everyone. And please, be at the last end of the episode too, but give us a like and follow and just check us out a little more. And we grow this by you guys being here, you guys, girls and bots, and everything in between. So thanks so much for being here. Bye.
And lights kind of on his chest, but they're out of whack too.
He does. Oh man, so this is another tangent. I'll go really quickly. So so I told you we talked discussed me getting that older blue streak, and I've been trying to get it transformed. I was like, my wife's asked what I was doing. I was showing her. I said, "This is really neat. This is an old piece. I'm trying to get it restored." And she's like, "What is it?" I said, "What's a Datsun 280Z Fairlady?" And my stepson comes in and is like, "They didn't have Fairlady in the United States." I'm like, "Well, this isn't a United States car. This is originally a Japanese car." So that's why it was I think it wasn't the name of the Blue Streak figure. Wasn't Fairlady Z?
Yeah, in Diaclone it was. They were
Yeah,
just named
Daikon.
what the cars were. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it was Fairlady Z because in Japan they would have the Datsun 280Z as the
It
Fairlady.
even has the stickers that say that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it does in the front, I think.
Yeah. Front and
So
back.
yeah, and I was like I got to discuss. I'm like, well, actually, all the Dotson brothers here. So yeah, I pulled my prowl out. Like, I'm like, look at this guy, look at this guy. So it's just actually neat. The original Diaclone figures are really cool figures. They are bricks. We know this. They are all they're very limited what they can do. I still think though Sideswipe, the original Sideswipe is probably my favorite of the body style, the robot style of the G1 cars.
hmm
Oh, that
He's
really
also the
bothered me.
brickiest, I think, of those G1 cars.
He kind of is, but and I like the Dawson brother arms, but I got the way he looks as a robot. The feet on like Jazz and the Dotson brothers and all that really bothered me because you had to set them just right to get them to stand
Right.
up. Whereas Sideswipe and Red Alert and so on, they're very stable.
Oh yeah, you just pull their thighs out and they just stand, fold their feet out and they're good.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's where all
very
the weight
cartoony,
was too. The center of gravity was in their feet.
which made them stand up really well. And the arms,
Yeah.
yes, they're very, whatever.
I'm
But
looking forward to see the missing link version of
oh my
Sideswipe.
God. And then we're gonna have to have it. They're gonna have to have a missing link version of G2 Sideswipe, which is one of my favorite recolors they ever did with the black body and the red. Where
Oh
actually
yeah.
it's kind of like Red Alert, his inner parts of Red Alert, the coloring, but with the black outside.
Well, on the cartoon, no, because Red Alert, I believe, had a black head in the toy.
Oh, he did, yes.
Yeah, but he had a red head in the cartoon. So
That's
if you wanted
right.
a cartoon accurate Red Alert back in the day, you could take the head out of the G2 side swipe and stick it in your Red Alert.
I'm not doing that.
No.
No, no, that would absolutely not.
That's how you make him less cool,
And give him all kinds of emotional problems.
right?
You're all talking about me. Um, so yeah, they want Ironhide uses this liquid cooled nitrogen. It's like telling Huffer, since he's the strongest one amongst them right there, to smash the scrambler before it's operational. And and I don't know. I guess I kind of figured probably be the one to give him like the orders, but it's Ironhide right here. So yeah, we go
Kyle's
back
busy
to
being Bumblebee.
yeah, we go back to Bomber Bill, and he's trying to start Bessie up, but he's looking over at them the roughhousing, and all that roughhousing must have upset Bessie because Bessie's not turning over, which you get slammed by a dump truck and then thrown into the dump truck. You know,
Yeah, they
it's
weren't gentle. That's raw
well, I mean,
material, man.
you even gotta let your when you get in the refrigerator, let it sit for a while before you can turn it on. Come on, guys, it's a semi. Even if it's Bessie, you gotta let it sit for a little while. The
He's got to pour a little gas in the carburetor or diesel or
Yeah,
whatever,
little starter fluid in there in the
Yeah.
carburetor. And yeah, we go back. It looks very C and M&E here behind Devastator.
Oh yeah.
It very much does. Like I expect like a be like a clownfish hanging out in it.
Right. They're trying to find Nemo. That's who he's trying to contact.
So yeah, he continues to die Autobots and yeah, and Huffer's like, how do I smash it? Because it's so big. And
Oh, he's saying, "How can I smash it?"
yeah, how can I smash? Oh, that's right. Because he says later, how
Yeah.
can I smash it? Because when we went back to what he was when they were giving the tour to BlackRock, what he was trying to do, he
Yeah,
was
he's
trying to get a signal
homesick.
back. That's right. Good call there.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't read it for 2 weeks. And so it's within reach. Cybertron's within reach. He's trying to decide if he should, smash this or if he should let Soundwave, get the signal through because this is his chance to talk
Huffer's
to Huffer.
having a smash or pass moment.
He's, he's like, oh God, I shouldn't swipe right, but maybe here, this one time, I can get a signal through. And and they he Devastator is doing his thing, but Soundwave's yelling at him to get his miswire Claude, get him over here to destroy this Autobot before he ruins everything. And I think if Huffer was going to ruin everything, he would have done it already. And so Soundwave doesn't realize what's going on through Huffer's mind.
Soundwave doesn't think much of Autobots, so
No, obviously we've seen through Soundwaves. Um, but
his
I
letter
like
columns, yeah.
yeah, I like the art here on the faces, especially right here on Devastator. His face looks real on this next page.
Oh yeah. Well, wait, you can't speed by our nemesis.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, that creepy
Our
kid is back with his truck and his gun, making demands that we look out for Optimus and Megatron. They're in the shops now. See, is that a threat?
they're in there. Look for
Yeah,
your gun to take to the park, so wave around at people, kid.
right.
That jacket just kills me, man.
I know.
Every
I'm
time.
telling you that's a season 3 jacket.
It really is. Everyone can wear their matching bodysuits, and he can wear that jacket and be like a criminal.
He's like one of Victor Drath's goons.
Oh, he is. That's
Yeah,
exactly what he is.
or like the old Snake's trench coat.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Coco's trench coat.
Oh man. Well, I wish, come on, the Autobots when they became synthoids. They could have at least found better things than overalls that were colored.
Hey, that's all that was in that junkyard, and at least they were color coordinated.
Color coordinated overalls were the worst thing.
Ugh. And it's like in Terminator when like Kyle Reese like wears like some homeless guy's pants, like
Oh, I know.
yeah, commando. And it's like they just grabbed somebody's like work clothes that are hanging up there.
They're all color coordinated work clothes too.
Yeah, just throw them on.
Okay, now that we acknowledged the Nightmare Boy.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was saying, the facial expressions on Devstair are really cool, but it's weird the way they've drawn it because it's like a I don't know, hexagonal panel with a face sticking out of it.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of that with Devastator. They kind
Yeah.
of like cut corners with his design.
Sometimes they give him the visor, sometimes they give him the eyes and the like very detailed face. It just depends on who's drawing him and how much time they decide to use.
And he's got his goth eye makeup on though, so that's the
Dude, he
important
has
thing.
some heavy guy liner on or
Yeah.
bot liner. And Ironhide's decided it's time to smash. No passing on this one. But Ironhide is colored just like Devastator. He's a
Oh yeah. He
traitor.
switched sides. He knows. He
He
knows.
knows. He's a traitor, man. There's Prowl's over next to him. Looks like Prowl has his head in his hands like he's doing this.
Oh yeah.
He's so
He
disappointed that Ironhide changed sides.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's sad that Nelly Amtov made Ironhide switch teams.
Nell, looking at you, dude. Looking at you.
But look at that. I want that toy now.
I know.
You know how cool that would look next to Toxitron?
It's yeah, the what is it? The Shattered Glass Ironhide.
Right?
What's good though, they have Huffer looks really good. He's the big satellite thing looks less and less like pipe light. It looks like they took a radar dish and did little lines on top of it now. So the drawing on that is getting less and less detailed.
They're running out of time.
They are. But not they had enough time to draw a really cool Huffer face. But he kind of
Y-
looks like the tip of a bullet, the way they drew his
Yeah,
head
he's got a
here.
bullet head, and
He
he
definitely
he's got
does.
his typo negative eyeliner on
He
too. So
does.
yeah,
And go then he's kind of trying to reason with Ironhide like maybe we should consider our options here, man. We can get a signal through to Cybertron. Yeah, that'd be fantastic, right? Right? And so Soundwave keeps pushing through and he's finally getting the signal. It's you see this beam with these like rings going through it to show that
yeah, they got like
signal.
yeah, pulsing circles or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
making the signal all the way to Cybertron.
he's got like Aquaman circles firing out of this thing.
He does. They are electromagnetic pulses carrying Soundwave's mysterious message. They begin
He's
warping through the
communicating
inner.
with the Seacons.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, they're on their journey to Cybertron, hundreds of light years away, and that's when all the Autobots are like, uh-oh. And Huffer's like, no, Ironhide's like, Huffer, they they've figured out where Cybertron is. We can't let them communicate. And there's this whole thing where Huffer's like looking like, I don't know, man. He's
Oh
having a
yeah.
mirage moment
Well, and his face, I think this is like the best Huffer face in this comic.
easily,
Yeah, he
easily.
looks robotic here.
He does. He looks like there's like he's having trouble. There's a big decision here. I was like, oh,
Yeah, he's got
it,
a pouty face.
he does. And the eye makeup gets heavier because he's getting more and more. He's full of ennui. He's
Yeah,
anxious.
he's getting more emo about it.
And Ironhide, he's saying like we got to protect the Earthlings. You got to destroy the Scrambler. And that's when Bomber Bill hears them because Ironhide's probably yelling. He's like, protect Earthlings. And so Huffer hesitates too long, and Devastator backhands him with a left.
Yeah, because Devastator's been confused about which Autobot to attack.
Yeah, he's attacking everyone, and he realizes what's going on.
Yeah.
But the hero of the story is here, Bomber Bill. He has taken his loyal steed Bessie, which looks really terrible in this frame. It looks
Yeah.
it's like he put a Lincoln Town Car and put a trailer on it. But yeah, and he's given this little speech. You may have cleaned Huffer's clock, but old Bessie and me are gonna tick it again, and making threatening phone calls ain't something we look kindly upon. In other words, your dime's just run out, mister, which reference to payphones being, using
What
your
are
dime.
those, Grandpa?
Those are where someone would steal a phone book and then like take all the money out of it. And that.
Right?
Anyways, Soundwave is looking really weird. They gave him a very squared off head.
Yeah.
He looks bad.
I love the onomatopoeia. Snap. Like, oh, snap.
And there's the
Where he
next
breaks
scene,
the wires. Yeah.
rift. And so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. And Soundwave has like clockwork stuff in his chest,
he
too.
does. He's been hooked into. So once he's like, well, I severed my cable connections, fleshling. You've only freed me to kill you. And yeah, Soundwave picks up old Bessie and basically tries to throw him and kill him. That's when
Yeah.
Huffer shows back up and punches Soundwave in the back.
Oh, yeah. Kidney punch, man.
He lays Soundwave out and grabs with one hand Bessie. I was no notes on that one, Huffer. That's great.
Yeah. The balance on there, that trailer should have fallen off like 3 pages ago.
Yeah, probably so, but here we are.
Right. Then we have
Ah,
a really cool drawing of Soundwave,
yeah,
which
yeah.
he looks a little bit like Shredder.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
That's great.
Or he could be a foot soldier, like if you did a foot soldier
He
version of
definitely,
Soundwave.
yeah. And he does the old hey, well, it's our already destroying all the connections, scrambler, so it's already done. So we may as well the message is transmitted, at least most of it was. It's Constructicons transform and let's leave. And he does the whole thing where he turns into a tape deck and flips himself into a long haul's cab again.
Yeah.
And so they're
So
gone.
basically, the Autobots failed.
Oh yeah, Bomber Bill saved the day,
Yeah, but I
but
mean, not
only so
before they got
much.
their message out.
Yeah, we just don't know which part of the message that came out, but yeah, essentially, he
Yeah.
failed. And I'm sure we'll see what part of the message that when they got.
He just
Sorry.
left out the part where he said, "Love Soundwave."
Soundwave, are you there? Man, I
P.S.
hate
Do
when he
you
hangs
like
up
me?
on
Yes
us.
or no?
Circle, circle one or two, or Y or N. Instead of
That's going
back.
to a Cybertronian fax machine somewhere.
The yeah, and Huffer at the end is like, look, you got to forgive me for my poor judgment. He did this whole thing where he like I allowed my longing for Cybertron to cloud my judgment, but luckily Bomber Bill, the hero of the story, was here. Um, and he tries to give Huffer a little like a pep talk. Like, look, man, we all drive off the road sometimes when it comes to wanting to go home, Huffer. Ain't nothing else that can eat at your insides like that feeling. Heck, I just went chagging after. What's chagging? After a.
Chasing.
Oh my God, it's just the way it's written. Okay, it's
Yeah.
the S is like really against the A. Chasing after a bunch of murdering truck rustlers for that very same reason. And this is in Idaho, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Ain't that ain't that was and that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done either.
Yeah. He's pulling like a full blown Kristofferson here.
He is. He is.
We gotta get this convoy trucking across the land.
And after standing over him like, you speak wisely, Bomber Bill. We're all the same, big buddy. We suffer from the same aching, and we all make mistakes. You're right, Bomber Bill. Except we're not quite the same. You can go home now. I can't.
Or, you can go home now. I
Man,
can't.
his eyeliner just got thicker again.
Yep.
I'm just going to be like this forever, stuck here on this planet. Okay, man. Well, come on, let's go. But
Welcome to the mud ball.
so then the epilogue here, we go back and Shockwave is trying to figure out why Jetfire, there's a Skyfire here.
It's Jetfire.
Jetfire, okay, just making sure.
It's
Yeah,
only
Jetfire.
Skyfire and Sunbow.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's trying to figure out why he has not given life to Jetfire with his creation matrix.
His Optimus Prime nightlight is broken.
Yeah, it
Look at that.
is. So he's trying to figure out, and you have the like somewhat constructed Jetfire up there.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I have nothing to say to you, Shockwave. So he's gonna have everything rechecked, but maybe the problem lies with the Optimus Prime. If he can no longer use the creation matrix, then it's not logical that should let him live any longer.
Right. He's
And
not keeping him company.
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
We're not friends here, man. Well,
And he expects that all the connections are right because, he did them.
yeah, yeah, and
So,
Shockwave is, if nothing else, is very efficient, very, I don't know, organized with what he's doing.
yeah, he's
He's the most
competent.
he is the most competent leader I think the Decepticons ever really have. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, he's probably the most
I'd say
competent.
Scorponok is like a close second.
Yeah, he is. Bludgeon is just he's a zealot. Megatron is too nuts in
Yeah.
comics,
We'll get into that too. And it's weird the way the UK comics do it because it's like Megatron seems to be more crazy than Galvatron.
which is fun.
Yeah.
Galvatron is a determined, like, well-reasoned character in the Marvel books, the UK
Oh,
books.
yeah. He's very calculating. And then, it's the exact opposite of what you see in Sunbow.
Yeah, which hey, that's a whole different thing. We got a long
Right.
time for that. But they're Prowl and this is gonna be Prowl. So I guess Blue Streak's being the backhand on the cover. Prowl and BlackRock are listening to the conversation because, as we know, BlackRock had all the phones bugged at the aerospace facility.
Hmm.
So they're hearing what's going on with Shockwave threatening to just kill Optimus Prime if you can't get him to to make Fire come to life.
They're invading Shockwave's privacy.
Yeah, yeah. Like they said, all they know is a feeling of total helplessness, and they don't know what to do about that. So they're just listening in, and that's not going to go well. So
Right?
yeah, it's kind of a it's there's a whole idea that Optimus Prime's been sitting here this entire time, and we have to keep being reminded that it's still happening. This is still in the background. Optimus Prime's
Right.
still gonna be there, but we got to wrap this story up here soon. So something's got to happen with all that.
Right. And going into some of the talent that worked on this, the pencils here were also by Ricardo Villamonte, since this was originally one
Mhm.
issue
Yeah.
in the US. But the inks were done by Brad Joyce. And Brad Joyce was originally supposed to work on issues 22 and 23, which was like
Mhm.
issue number 5 for the
Yeah.
US. But these are his first issues to actually work on the Transformers comics.
Okay.
And he's a native Floridian.
Oh.
Yeah, he's originally from Orlando and settled in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Yeah, and this dude has worn a lot of hats in his time.
You're telling me that. I
Uh,
remember that.
yeah, he's been a minister, a news editor, a writer, a radio program director, an on-air announcer, voiceover artist, minister, and I said minister. All right, and a political cartoonist.
Dang.
Yeah. As news producer for Sinclair Inc., he covered the 2000 election recounts in Florida. So you know how much fun that was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he interviewed Secretary of State James Baker at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, and he previously worked on Transformers children books, some of which featured were included in the Transformers annual that we covered.
Yeah.
And he inked some of Ditko's work in those.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and the books he worked on were Battle at Oil Valley, Battle for Earth, Battle on the Junk Planet, Forest Rescue Mission, and Invasion of the Decepticon Camp.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Nice.
some of the comics that he worked on besides Transformers, he worked on Avengers, Alf, A-Team, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Captain America, Cloak and Dagger, Damage Control, Deadpool,
Nice.
Excalibur, Guardians of the Galaxy, Magnus Robot Fighter, Ren and Stimpy,
Oh, nice.
Sergeant Rock, Silver Surfer, Thor. I mean, he had like tons of titles for like all the major publishers, and he did a lot of the trade paperback like covers and stuff for reprints for when they did
Okay.
like Infinity Gauntlet and Spider-Man
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
Venom. And then he worked on the WWF books for Valiant.
Nice.
Yeah, so this guy had a massive career, and he's not far from you, so you might run into him at a con sometime.
That'd be kind of cool. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
And actually, in the I got to interrupt here. I just had this realization that it was yesterday. My stepson was showing my wife and I the new Slate vehicles. Have you heard of that? It's like they're very modular vehicles that I think Jeff Bezos is working on. Electric modular vehicles are kind of
Oh,
cool.
are those really basic electric vehicles?
Yes, but they're made so you can basically start at the beginning, like your
Right.
clean slate, as it were, and build up
Hmm.
from there, like change it up. And there was a design that was very very reminiscent of Trailbreakers, like that stripe design.
Yeah.
Also, the A-Team van, the way it was all done.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, huh, that's kind of cool in the A-Team kind of way. And my wife looks at me and says, "What's the A-Team?" Dude, I'm 6 years older than her, but sometimes it feels like 20 years.
Well, and the A-Team didn't run as long as you thought they did.
I guess not. I guess
I think
Mr.
they only
T was
went
a
for like 4 seasons or something like that. They weren't maybe 5 seasons. It wasn't long.
Well, I feel like the A-Team was stuck around in the same way that like Rambo did. You were always had references to it somehow. Mr. T would be around for a while.
Oh
And
yeah.
things
I
like
mean,
Mr.
it was huge, and then it just wasn't there anymore. It just
Yeah,
like Knight Rider. Knight Rider was massive, and then it was just gone one day. Like,
I mentioned that like you said Rocky 3. Did you see Rocky 3? She's like, oh no, I didn't see all that. I said Pitiful. She's like, oh yeah, I know that. I said, well, okay, there's one of the characters from A-Team. She's like, oh, wait, he did that whole that Mohawk Night Elf commercial for World of Warcraft. That's Mr. T. So I was kind of disappointed, but I'm like, well, okay, I'd
You know
remember.
Barkley from Next Generation?
She would know that actually.
Yeah. So yeah.
She would know Barkley. She would knows Star Trek pretty well. Her mom brought her up watching Star Trek. But at the end of the issue, we have the advertisement for the Telltale stories. Not bad though. £5.95 for like a 3 pack, like gift box, or £1.99 for like each of them if you want.
Yeah, those Ladybird books.
They were, yes, with the tapes with them
Yeah.
and everything. The Telltales.
Oh, and you can get them separate or in like a big pack.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah.
So, the pack is the Autobots fight back, Megatron's fight for power, and the Autobots lightning strike. So there you are. That is issue number 36, everybody. Um,
That was fun.
it is. And I Devastator plays a lot like the Subbo Devastator, except he doesn't seem as big and powerful.
He's a
He
little
is big and
dumber in the
powerful.
comics.
He's a lot dumber in the comics.
Yeah.
He has like five words for his vocabulary.
Yeah.
So there's that, of course.
They definitely got the brain drain going on when they combine.
Yeah, they did. I always thought it should have been the opposite. I mean, they're construction guys. They work together. They should they should have a good efficient teamwork thing going on. But no, they're apparently not.
I think the joke is like you get a bunch of experts together and they all disagree.
There's that. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. So I don't know. It was a fun issue of Bomber Bill's the hero. Definitely, without a doubt,
Yeah, this was Bomber Bill's issue.
it was.
And his
This was
only issue, like this one and the one before, you know, because we never see him again. He goes
Bessie's
home and he stays away from robots,
Bessie's last ride.
right?
He's trying to take Bessie home and take care of her.
I think he just stopped delivering to the Pacific Northwest.
Oh
Like that was
yeah.
just too much. He's like, eh.
Huffer, I'll look you up. Come on, don't worry about seeing me. I'll talk to you later. I gotta go. Don't look me up.
He relocated to British Columbia. He's like, I just got out of Merca entirely.
Well, they ain't in Canada. I'll just go up there. Oh yeah.
Well, his truck stop's gone, so I mean,
There's no reason to go back to Idaho anymore.
right? There's
So
no reason to go there at all now. Just never mind.
yep, yep. So yeah, that was issue number 36. Thanks everyone for hanging out this long to listen to us. As always, give us a follow on the YouTube or whatever audio you listen to us on. Leave us a comment, send us an email. We always like to get, participation and like join the Discord. And I always want to remind everyone that Boo here does the art himself of the thumbnails. I always like kind of seeing the work in progress as he's doing it. So
Yay.
yeah, exactly. And then he just puts it through an AI generator. Obviously, no, not at all.
It's all fake slop.
That AI slop. Thanks everyone for being here. Check us out. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Tell us how awesome you think we are or how terrible you think we are. Hey, no news is well. Is it bad news? I don't know.
There's
Anyways,
no bad publicity.
there you go. That's what I was
There
looking
you go.
for.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, y'all.
See,
Take it easy.
he's a glutton for punishment.
Yes, I am. I just Boo would know. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Have a great week. Talk to you later. More Than Meets These Guys, a Transformers podcast, is performed by Evan Johns, Boo of the AxelonUnderground.com, and Ed Strickland. Research is done by Evan Johns, Boo of the AxelonUnderground.com, and Ed Strickland. Special thanks to Hasbro, Marvel, Skybound, and the occasional extra property which we will name at whatever time is appropriate for that episode. And without all of you, this is really not even possible. So thanks for being here, and thanks for checking us out every week. Goodbye.